Hey everyone, I'm NitroTech. Welcome back. This is a game called Gunsmith. This is an alpha version, early access. As you can see, we're in version 0.0.4.43b. I think I said that right. Either way, this is it's still a fairly new game. They spent a lot of time in the last update. I think this game's been out for almost a year now. The last update was a major game-changing update. So we're going to get into this. I've already started the game, got into it. Let me show you around that one, and then we'll start a new one. I just wanted to quickly show you some of the things I figured out along the way. There wasn't much of there's a slight tutorial, but not much. As you can see, you're going to need lots of storage space, a nice area for your employees. I've got this set up as a utility room, and then you're going to have loads and loads and loads of equipment. So this game is very similar to if you've played, what was that game? Automation Empire. Very similar to that. I think another one was called Factorio or something like that. Very similar to either one of those, where it's basically kind of like an idle conveyor automation building game. Very interesting. Like I said, this is a very early access. I hope that the music's not too loud. It sounds like it is. Let me turn that down just a second. Music. There we go. That should be better. So, as you can see, we'll come back to this one. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it can look like. This is still early game. I'm not kidding. This is early game. I don't feel like I'm in the mid game yet. If we go to the globe, you can see all these. Like, you can put a factory in each of these locations. And right now I just have the one in Russia here. That's U.S. and China. So I haven't expanded any of that yet. We still haven't. If we go to the research tree, I've got about most, we'll say 3/4 of the research done. I'm just now getting into weapons. But it's not, like I said, I don't feel like I'm even at mid game yet. So let's go back and let's get into a new game. So we're just going to go exit to menu, accept. I'll probably do another video of each of those setups. Let's go into a new game. We'll just go normal. We'll come down here to, we don't want sandbox because you get a lot of, it's unlimited money, resources. We don't want that. I'd like to do a, we'll do this one. We'll try and get 1 million or 100 million. We want to start, so we did, that one was Russia. Could do China. Not too, I just don't feel, we'll do the US. And hit start here. You're probably not going to find too many up-to-date videos on this one.
It's me, Vienna.
Oh,
I know this
hush.
has taken longer than expected.
We'll skip that. So we're going to skip the introduction because I'll kind of explain it to you. So this is your dispenser. It puts out your items that you have in your inventory here. So right now we have 20 fabric sheets, 20 plastic blocks, sorry. And if you click output on, when you select it, output, what do you want this to put out? and each item has a different output speed. It's not based on the block, it's based on the item. So if you have a small item, like we'll get into plastic, oh, I forget what they're called, plastic pieces or something, we get, they put out a lot faster than, say, like a pair of trousers or something. We'll get into all that. So to start here, we got to kind of get this up and running. So we're going to take this out of the way because we're going to shorten the gap here. Just it increases the time it takes to get from here to here. Even though here, so what we're trying to create here, so this is your merger. This is going to merge different pieces. This is your boxing machine. This is going to put it into different things. So we're going to start with the glove here. You don't have to actually select anything here. We're going to make the glove. And if we come up here to our book, we can see the glove. And if we start down at the bottom, so here's our boxing machine, which is this. So our boxing machine here, if we want to put out a glove, we need to have a glove go through a sewing machine. So here's our sewing machine, here's our thing. We'll just kind of rotate this way. We'll get rid of that and we'll put the sewing machine in here. So now we have the merging machine putting out camo gloves. And then it has to go through the sewing machine into the boxer. We're going to bring this up here, and we're going to put that right there. So now whenever that comes out, it goes right onto the end of the boxing machine, or the end of line. So we can kind of get this out of the way. We're going to move that out of the way. So the next step, this is where the merging machine comes in. We need to have fabric sheets get turned into fabric gloves. That goes into the merger. Then we need to have plastic blocks heated up and then formed into plastic fittings, and that goes into the merger. So you see we have the heater here, the former here. So we're going to take the former, put it there. We're going to pull that off. We'll put that on there. Oh, yeah. We'll put that on here, and then we're going to actually come down here, hide that for a minute. This is your basically equipment constructor. So we are going to need another dispenser, so we come down here to this one, dispenser, and we're going to put it there. We're going to take this one. You double click to move things. Put it there. We're going to rotate that one. Oh, we needed one more away. There. And we're going to take this. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. Is that? Nope. We're on center just a little bit. You gotta watch that. If you don't, you'll find stuff ending up on the floor, like over here. And when you find stuff on the floor, come over here to the side menu, grab your Hoover, and grab all your whatever falls on the ground. A lot of times you'll find if you run out of shelf space for the stuff that comes on the end of the line, that stuff is going to overfill down here. Once that overfills, it'll just start a rippling effect, and it's not pretty. So let's check. Yeah, so we got that lined up. And you probably could, you can actually put this here. That'll save a couple more squares, because then it'll push it out, it'll come down, then it'll come over. So we have all this. And likewise, you can do this. Like that. That'll have the same result. Then you don't need these two conveyors. And by all means, you can do that. So you got a lot more. You see, we've freed up all this space back here. So with that, let's the next step to get this thing running is you're going to need someone to control it. So as you can see, we have no employees like what I showed you earlier. We'll get into that in just a second about constructing. But so for that, what we're going to need is come here to the staff. We're going to need a control station. We're going to put that right there. No, we're not. We're going to move it back over here. The reason for that is because we're going to have a maintenance worker running around. In order for him to maintain the equipment, he's got to have a what's this? Yeah, whatever. You can send us some orders. He's got to have room to get 2 machines. And what I mean by that is like these machines here, if we were to take this, put it there, put that there, and put this here, the mechanic cannot reach this machine to repair it. So it'll eventually just fault out and be inoperable. So you have to make sure they can at least get to the middle of any one given side. So here, since our conveyors are this way, that leaves this side and this side. So we have this nice space right here for him to access to repair this machine if needed. Same with these on this side. He's got this whole side here. He can access any of those machines. So to get this running, we're going to click him. We don't have any employees here. You see here, staff. We're going to go to recruit and assign. That automatically recruits 1 staff and assigns him to this machine. Now you see the screens are red. That means that this station is actually powered off. So we need to tell this station what machines to control. And you can see right up here, it can only control 10 at the moment. We'll get into research here in just a second, so that we can upgrade that so that they can control more stations. So we're going to hit add station, and we're just going to select each of these machines. There's 8 of them. You don't need this one. This one's not an actual machine. That one's just a landing platform for the boxes that come out. So once we have that, you can see here that in order for this to operate, we need 5 heat, 0 cooling, and 130 power. And right up here is your utilities. So we're not using any out of 50 heat or cooling, and we're currently using 64 out of 300 power. So as soon as we turn this on, you'll see that jump up, and we'll be ready for this to start working, with the exception of we have to tell it what to do. So this one, you don't have to tell it to do anything. This just kind of collects whatever comes in. And you can see right up here, for it to accept a camo glove, it has to be sewn, sewing level of 1. So here's our sewing level of +1. So then this, we tell it we need to output camo gloves. And in order for it to do that, it needs to receive 1 fabric glove and 1 plastic fitting. So right here in the cutting machine, let's take a step back. So for the fabric gloves, we need output fabric sheets. Power's still off, so we can set all this up. So this is putting out 1 unit per second. So this one, when we tell it we need to output fabric gloves, it's saying it's going to put out 5 per 5 seconds. But if we're only putting in 1 per second, so every second we get 1 piece of fabric, it takes 2 seconds for it to craft 1 piece of fabric into 5 gloves. So we actually want to increase the crafting speed so that it matches the output. So 0.5 seconds, 5 gloves, that's 2.5 seconds to unload 1 crafted fabric sheet, or cut fabric sheet. So we're going to increase this to 0.5 to 2.5 total. So now it takes takes the machine 2.5 seconds to cut this one sheet into 5 gloves. Those 5 gloves then take 2.5 seconds to be thrown onto the conveyor. So every 2.5 seconds, we need 1 fabric sheet. So if we come down here, we can put this up to 2.5 so that we're not just dumping fabric sheets into here. It's balanced. So we put 1 fabric sheet every 2.5 seconds. Every 2.5 seconds, those are cut into 5 gloves. And every 2.5 seconds, all 5 gloves have been put onto the sheet. So it's a balanced, efficient timing. So with that, since this is actually pushing them out every half second, this is actually crafting every half second. And that just goes on until it hits here. So we know we need here every half second, and this one's pushing them out every second. That's balanced. That's good. So this one doesn't, we have to tell it what it's doing. It's making plastic fittings. Again, that's half a second for 5, or per 1. So to output all 5, it's 2.5 seconds. So we need to increase this one too, so that every block takes 2.5 seconds to make 5. If not, you're going to get this being overloaded with an unbearable amount. We'll accept him too. So with that, we know we need 1 plastic block every 2.5 seconds. If you hold this over here, you can see shift click is 1 second, and then just clicking is 0.1. So now we have a very efficient, balanced, very minimal amount of conveyors, just very simple. I mean, all this isn't necessary, all these aren't necessary. That's pretty much it. So now we can take this, now that everything's set up, timed right, we're going to click this right here to turn the whole thing on. And you see here we're using 194 power per day, or whatever it is, and each one of these is providing 100. That's your 300. So these are power, that's heat, that's cooling. I forget what they actually call this, but we'll figure it out. Oh, it's right down here. A water pump and a gas pump. So that pumps gas in to heat it, and then that'll pump water in to cool. We'll get into that later. So now you can see these are pushing out. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Every half second, these are coming out. And you see it's not being overloaded with fabric sheet. This is exactly, as soon as that pushes out the last one, it's back up to 5. That's where we're at. So now we're going to run out of inventory pretty quick. So we're going to go up here to the market. We're going to tell it we have 128,000. So if we buy 500, it's a little bit overpriced right now, but that's 2,000. So let's see what we can do for 1,000. That's a little better. So we're going to buy 1,000 of those and 1,000 of these. The market's pretty straightforward. This is the average price if you're buying. This tells you if it's currently above average or below, and same with selling it. If you find you have an overabundance of this, you can sell it back. So if you needed money, you could buy low and sell high, if you wanted to make money that way. So you see the boxes come down, they get taken and put on the shelves here. Now what we do to sell it, I'm going to push these back. There's room here against the wall. We're just going to push these back and stack them back up. These cannot, like if I were to put this here, this one here in the middle, although it'll put boxes there, it cannot be accessed. So we're going to leave it just like that. In fact, in order to sell that, we have to go to the orders. But right now we're only making gloves. So we're only going to see gloves here. he has an order for, well, that's active. That's an active order. So here's our available. So we're not making bullets yet. We can decline that one. We're just making gloves. What I like to do, as far as available orders, is come here, go to expiration time, ascending. So these are when their request expires. So they're requesting an order of 300 gloves. We have 320 in stock. But his request ends in 15 minutes. And that's game time down here. So if we go here to active orders, you can see what's already active. And if we go here to fulfillment time, this is how long we have to fulfill their order before it completely expires and we lose reputation. So we're going to leave that one. We're going to come back here to active orders, and we're not going to take any of these yet unless there's one for like 80. No. Okay, so each one you complete, you gain reputation on. Oh, and you see, this is what I was talking about. The shelves are full, so the boxes aren't going there. So we're actually going to need some shelving. And let's throw, we got to pull it 2 away. Actually, let's just throw it down here. We can go 3 high. That's it, just 3 high for now. We'll go 1 more. And then we're going to take our Hoover and pick up our stock. Come back here, active orders, 1 more box. So 1 box is 20 for the small machine. There's a medium and a large. So now that we have the 500, we'll tell it to complete the order, which is this little check mark here. Done. And we got paid for that, 3,000. So now we can go to available orders. And we just kind of wait for, because this one expires in 14 minutes. We want to see if we can get that 300 before we accept it. So let's go in here. We got this set up. Now, while that's kind of stocking back up, we need to figure out, we need some maintenance techs, and we need to get started on some research. I'm just kind of organizing this. Alright, so let's come over here to this wall. And we're going to come down here to staff. And he's got a couch to rest on. Your staff have to kind of work in cycles. They work for a little bit and then they rest for a little. As you can see, they have an energy bar. When it fills up, they go back to work. When it runs down, they come in and rest. But as far as maintenance, come down here, we need a tool station, and we're going to put that right here in the corner. We're going to come up here to staff. We're going in the management tab. We're going to hire a mechanic. It's not like you hire a specific person. You're hiring a position. It's the same cost and wage. And you'll see your daily cost right here. We're spending $575 a day. So let's hire a mechanic. Now he'll come in, he'll kind of wander around, and then he'll come over and get his toolkits. This is where they get the toolkits from. So he's working. That's going. Let's check our orders. We got 240. We're going to hit that. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this one. And then next we need to work on research. So we have, we can get a sales, market. Not quite ready for that yet. Let's get a research station. I'm going to set it up on this wall. Actually, no, I want to set it up over here. I'll go 1 away from there. So we got a research desk. Let's hire a researcher and recruit. So now we got 3 people. Now we're spending $1,500 a day. So let's put our researcher to work. Go to the research tab. all of this we already have. This is your power, your belts, all your shelving. All this is already researched. You see these little green arrows? That means these are available to be researched. This one is not. If you click on it, you can see we need to learn the zipping machine. This is the boxing, or this is a recycle bin. This is going to come in handy when we try to shrink down our production facilities and make them a little bit more efficient. But first we're going to do the zipping machine so we can get the trousers and work on the rest of these here so we can start making some good money. So let's get the... Yeah, we have an old friend. He'll give us a little bit of money. Thank you. We're going to research the zipping machine. And you see the researcher starts going to work and we get 2 RP per second. That is by the one researcher doing his thing. Now he'll go through the same cycle of working and resting, but you still get the 2 RP per second. This one here shows you how many empty storage shelves you have. Speaking of which, let's go back over here to active orders and collect our money. Another 2,000. So we're getting close to the 300. We'll go ahead and accept that one, just because we don't want it to expire. Now the recycle bins are going to come in handy, like I was saying, when we try to make our designs more efficient, because what we can do is we can take this and instead of creating one every 2.5 seconds, you know, 1 or 5 fittings every 2.5 seconds, we can actually take this off to the side and tell it to push one out every second, and then just have this push them out into the recycle bin as often as possible, and then this can just push them into the merger here, and then that way this one could actually supply 2 or at most 5. So then we wouldn't have to have, you know, 3 heater or 5 heaters, 5 formers. We can just have, you know, one setup creating plastic fittings, and then just have extra dispensers pushing out just the fittings into the mergers, because we're going to need those for a lot of stuff. I think on that one I showed you at the beginning of the video, we had 3, 4 creating just plastic fittings. That's all they did. If we look here, we've still got 795. So we're getting this going. Research is almost done. Let's check our order. Yeah, that's good. So we can collect that. We saw this one down. I saw this one down here. 140. He's got 12 minutes to get 240, so we'll wait. Sometimes you can scroll down and you'll find one that you can just complete really quickly and it won't take much of your inventory. But we'll keep that just like that for a couple more minutes. I'm going to put down, so let's get into the construction side of things. So you see here we have this big warehouse. First thing I want to this is your kind of details help. Let's get rid of that. So one of the things that you're probably going to use the most is lights. You can click this and it will show you all the lights hanging from the ceiling. You see all those little blocks, and if we turn it off, they're gone. So that's going to be really helpful for knowing, hey, I need to put up some lights here. Each light does take power. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Never mind. Scratch that. Demo is right over here, so we can get rid of that light, get our money back. If you do, as you've seen the price difference, depending on how quickly you remove the light, depends on whether you get the full cost back or half or whatever. Click that one. So yeah. So one thing I have learned is most of the time you're only going to get orders for what you can produce. So as you research, like if I were to, when I complete researching trousers, I'll start getting orders for trousers. Now, once you start getting into ammunition and guns, they'll start being a little bit more random as to what they're requesting. So we're going to go ahead and start research for trousers. And while that's going, we're going to come down here and kind of do a little bit of construction. So we already talked about lights. Let's talk about walls. You have external and internal. The external walls come up to full height, as you can see here. The internal walls are only half. So we're going to do an external wall. We're just going to kind of place that there and run it across. Then we're going to come here and match it. We're going to go demo, take that off, and we're going to take the external wall again, just so that it looks nice and square. The floor, so that's the external walls. You have doors with windows, just doors. So we could have put a door here, but I don't plan on using that yet. Interior walls, same thing, you place it just like that. It's the same stuff, just interior, they're half the height. Flooring, so right here we're going to go with default flooring. We're going to grab this corner here. And yeah, there's a limit to how far you can go. You don't want to click here because you're more likely going to see a little gap along the wall. So go one step in, it'll be hidden in the wall, but click there and then you'll get that full piece covered, but there's nothing outside. We're going to grab that corner, and instead of going there, we're going to go in. There we go. Now the next thing we have is a roof. So we need to add a roof, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to actually come to that line and go to there, and then we're going to grab that. Oh, see that little line showing there? Yeah, see that little dark line right there? So we're actually going to go one down just to make sure we get that covered. Same with, yeah, see that little line? So we're going to go to the corner and then in. Alright, there we go. That's flooring, roof. Now the next thing is placement zone. And you can see this zone is the factory area. This is where it's basically saying you can only do stuff in the factory and the employees can only work in this area. If you come over here, we'll see this is the staff area. So only you cannot place, you cannot place machines in here because this is the staff area. You can place it out here, and vice versa. If we go here and we try to place a couch, this is factory area. It has to be in the staff area. So let's check our orders real quick. Nothing active, so we'll take that one and that one. And then we'll finish both of those. We'll take that one. Look at that, we're up to 139. Now, something that's a good idea, not quite yet, but notoriety. This is where you can decide if you want to be a good gunsmith or a bad gunsmith. Or if you want to be a good gunsmith and a bad gunsmith, depending on how you look at it. So what you do is if you want to be on this side of good, you would say, all right, give me 200 a day charity to increase my notoriety in this direction. You mark it active. Come on, active. Now you see this one grays out. So every day you'll see $200 deduction, and your notoriety will slowly start going this way. 1,000 a day is a good number to gradually go that way, and you get different benefits. I'm sorry, going a little bit too fast on that one. So you get a little bit benefits here, different benefits on this side, and they just increase either way. Now, I'm going to disable that because I'm not ready to do that yet. I like setting this to 1,000 and just letting it go, and eventually you're down here. Actually, the game I showed you at the beginning, I was already an entrepreneur doing 1,000 a day, so it's easy. Research, trousers are done, orders. If we come down here, we might see trousers. Nope, not yet. We got to complete a couple. So we're going to get this set up for trousers, and we're going to do... So we're going to need a dispenser. We're actually going to mirror. Actually, no, this one's a little bit different. So we're going to set up a dispenser. That's going to be fabric sheet. We go to our cookbook here. We're going to click on trousers. This tells us what to do. So we're going to export fabric sheets. We're going to cut them into trousers. Come here to our fabric, grab a cutter. Alright, we're cutting it into trousers. And if we check our timing, 3 sheets make 1 trouser in 2 seconds. So we need 3 sheets every 2 seconds. That's doing 1 per second. If we divide 3 by the 2, no, that's not right. If we take the 2 divided by the 3, that's 0.6667 or whatever. So we're going to go 0.6. Now what this is going to do is every 6.6 seconds, it's going to push 1 out. And in 1.8 seconds, it'll have a fabric sheet. Actually, let's go ahead and bump that up to 0.7. So every 2.1 seconds, it creates a trouser. That 1 trouser, we need to actually sew it twice. So we're going to come back down. Oh, I was already up. We need to sew this twice. Yeah, that's lined up. And then we need to zip it. So we're going to put that right there. And then after that, we can box it in a... Oh, no, we need the boxer first, which is down here. And then we can do our end of now. Now for this, I do goes that way. Nope. Let's see if we take this and go that way. We're gonna put it right there. We're gonna put it right there, so that we can do this. Oh. Oh. That's not going to work. And if you haven't figured out why, it's because maintenance can't get in here. So we're going to take this and move it over 2 more. There we go. Maintenance can get in there. We're going to go... We got to go that way. There and there. Nope, that one's backwards. Watch your belts. That's another way stuff ends up on the floor. So that's pushing out 2.1 seconds. It's crafting up, pushing it out every 2 seconds. And these don't have any timings. They're just pass-throughs. And that's as soon as it collects 20, it's going to push it out into a box. So we're probably going to need some more shelves. Well, we got room here. We can put those down. In fact, put these down here. Actually, they can go up 1. Nope, you can't. I think that'll give us, I did it again. Yeah, that'll give us room there. 3 more. I don't know why I moved that one. There we go. Nice and clean. Oh, we got a lot of gloves. So there's 300, 160. Another 160 and 140 is 300. Oh, still no trousers, but that's okay. Alright, so we're gonna need staff. We're gonna put him, we'll put him right there. No, let's go in here to construction and turn off these lights, or hide the lights. Actually, while we're in here, let's throw another light here and here. So assign, add equipment, all of these. Everything looks good. And uh-oh, we don't have enough utility. So let's take this, move it down here, and let's buy some more generators. We'll get 2 more. Now we have enough. And start. So we have our employee, we have everything assigned. All the, so you see here 3, kicks 1 out. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's right. Every 2.1 seconds. Yep, we're good. And then I'll just, oh, what did I forget? Oh, that means something's wrong. Yeah, it's not going to actually tell you what's wrong. You got to figure it out. And one way to figure out is here. 2 sewn, 1 zip. Alright, so then let's go back to the cookbook. Trousers. 2 sewn. We need 2 zip. Alright, so that's what's wrong. So we're going to take this and just turn it off. Come on. I just got to clear the line. Like these are pass-throughs, so we're going to take that out. We're going to grab that, add another zipper, and put it right there. Done. Turn it back on. Oh, whoops. Add that one. Turn it on. Alright, just in time. It has to be part of a station in order to turn it on. There we go. Now it's working. See, the combat trousers have to have sewing level 2 and zipping level 2. So that's a very compact setup. The only way this can be better, I mean, you could probably squeeze it together a little bit more or something. But if you needed to run a second line, you could set up to have multiple dispensers crafting, lots of trousers. Because these are pass-throughs, they have to have that before it goes into the boxer. If it goes back into inventory with the recycle bin, which we haven't researched yet, let me start that. So they have to pass through these before going into this. If you put them back into inventory, they lose all of their leveling, all of their characteristics. We'll put it that way. So now, let's see where we got. Let's go back up to the top. 220, 100. I think that's it. We'll just grab those 2. No trousers yet. Yeah, there we go. So now we're starting to see, but we still have 1 hour and 44 to do that. So we'll keep collecting these until we get all that. So let's check our market real quick. Yeah, it's time to buy some more. Now you can see the price is below average, so we're just getting a better deal. We'll grab another 1,000. But now we got to watch, make sure, because we're using fabric here, plastic still just used there, but now we're using a lot more plastic per second. So we got to keep an eye on that. Which next episode we'll get into automating orders and market, getting everything so that we don't have to keep as close an eye on that. So right now it's just kind of, this is where it comes into kind of like the idle part, where you can do things like research and buy materials and stuff, but really all you're doing is just kind of waiting for supplies to come in. So with that, we're going to end this episode. We'll get into a little bit more with the automation next time. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hit that like button or dislike. Either way, it helps me out, helps out the video. And we will catch you next time when we get into a little bit more of the automation and more complex lines with the different things we can craft. And then we get here into Kevlar. That's when it starts getting really big. So we'll get into all that, and I'll let you guys go for this one. But thanks for paying attention and following along, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, guys.